Hi, I'm Kristina from Proven Winners ColorChoice Shrubs, and today I'm at Walter's Gardens, the perennial branch of the Proven Winners plant brand. And I figured this was a great opportunity to talk about perennial and shrub pairings and what goes into making a great trio. Something that not only looks good in your garden, but will thrive there too. So there are two groups of things you're going to want to consider when you're choosing a plant pairing for your garden. The first group is really the most important. That's talking about the sun requirements. So if you've got a garden that gets 6 hours or more of direct sunlight, you're going to need full sun plants. If you have a shade garden, so that's 4 hours or less of direct sun, you're going to want some shade plants. But if you are riding that kind of middle ground territory of it gets 6 to 4 hours of sun, you're going to want part shade plants. And you're going to want to make sure that all of the plants that you plant in an area together have the same sun requirements. You're going to want to make sure that they have the same water needs too. So there are plants that are way more drought tolerant than others. So you're not going to want to plant those with your other high water needs plants because that will just make gardening a little harder than it has to be. And the third thing you're going to want to consider is the growing zone, the USDA hardiness zone, because that's going to make sure that your plants are surviving from year after year if you've got perennials or shrubs. So that's it for the nuts and bolts of making a combination. But if you want to get into a little bit more of the aesthetic side, there are a couple of other things that you can consider when choosing plants. And the first of those is the season of interest. If you want to enjoy your garden from spring to winter all year long, then you're going to want to make sure that there are plants in there that are going to be interesting to you the entire time. So that's something like winter interest, you're going to want an evergreen or something with beautiful bark. For spring, you're going to want beautiful flowers or amazing new growth with amazing new foliage. Summer, we've got lots of flowers. Hardly ever do you need to worry that you're going to have summer interest, but just make sure. And fall, you can have gorgeous fall foliage, you can have berries, you can have exfoliating bark. I mean, just making sure that you pack it all into the garden with that trio or how many ever plants you want to combine is going to be really important for making sure that you can enjoy your garden all year long. Or if you're a snowbird and you have a garden that you only want to enjoy for the summertime, you can pick plants that are only going to be beautiful then and just wash your hands of the rest of it. Another thing to consider is color. A lot of folks like having color coordinated gardens, and you're going to just go into the garden planning process with that in mind. An all white garden? Great. Just choose plants that have beautiful white flowers, easy peasy. Or if you want a garden that has complementary colors like purple and orange, pick flower colors or even foliage with those colors in mind. And you're going to want to consider texture. When it comes to texture, there are three types. There is fine, medium, and coarse. Fine texture is when the leaves are really small or the flowers are really small. Medium is what you're used to seeing. It's a general leaf shape, and coarse are really large leaves. So you're going to want a mix of these different textures to provide a more dynamic look in your garden. And the last thing you're going to want to consider is the height. Now this will really vary depending on the garden aesthetic that you're going for, but if you're a new gardener, you could just go with the basics and choose a tall plant, a medium plant, and a small plant so that you've got a lot of variety and the whole visual space is covered. And if you want to go for a different garden aesthetic, then you'll just choose plants that align with that kind of height. And now we're going to show you a couple of examples around the gardens that just kind of fit in with all of the criteria that we've mentioned and just kind of inspire you and give you some ideas for your own plant combos. This is our shade example. In this trio, we have plants that will all withstand full shade, so that's less than 4 hours of direct sun. And we've also got season of interest here in just these three plants. So we'll start with our spring plant, Interstella pieris. It's got amazing spring flowers. They're almost late winter flowers. They're so early. They're bright pink and they are draping down. It's really beautiful. And for our summer interest, we've got Shadowland Diamond Leg Hosta. It looks just as good from late spring into fall. It's got this really amazing dusty blue foliage, so it'll really draw your attention for the entire summer, and it's got really beautiful kind of light purple flowers. For fall, we've got this Kodiak orange. It's just blazing in fall. Its foliage totally lights up. It's a really good replacement for burning bush and a really great statement for the fall garden. And then for winter, back to this Interstella. This has evergreen foliage, so it'll stay interesting for the entire year, but especially if you live in an area where winters are pretty harsh, Interstella is a great option. And so there's your full season interest. And then when we talk about texture, these plants also tick all of those boxes. We've got really fine texture here with tiny little flowers and the smaller leaves of the Pieris Interstella. And then we've got the medium foliage here in our Diervilla, and then the coarse foliage of these huge Hosta leaves. So that is also a really compelling texture combination. And I think overall this is a great place to start. If you've got a shade garden, you can fill it in with other perennials and shrubs, but you know that you've got a full season of interest and lots of beauty to always draw your eye. This is our part shade option. So we've got a lot of interest here. First, we're gonna start out with our spring interest plant, and that is gonna be this beautiful Amsonia. This is string theory, and Amsonia is known for its beautiful spring tiny blue flowers that are in clusters at the end of each one of its stems, and it's just an amazing spring show. And then we've got summertime, and summer is amazing for allium, and any allium will do, but I think that you might really enjoy our new allium, Serendipity. It's loaded with flowers, it's super upright, and attracts bees by the dozens. And then we've got fall, which is where Amsonia comes back into play. Its tiny little foliage all turns this beautiful golden yellow color, and it is just an amazing statement in the landscape. But we've also got Temple of Bloom 7 Sunflower, Heptacodium. So this plant has really late summer, early fall flowers. They're going to be fluffy and white, really beautiful, but then all of those petals are going to fall off and reveal bright red fall bracts. And it's kind of like a second flower show. It's so beautiful and intense. And then you've got the wintertime, which is where the bark of this beautiful tree comes into play. Once it's mature, it's kind of this milky tan white color, and it's exfoliating. So it not only jumps out at you from the landscape, it's peeling, and it has this really cool, moody element that just draws you in, makes you want to see more of it, especially when it's grown as a multi-stemmed tree. And then we've got leaf texture. So we've got our beautiful coarse leaves. These are going to be much bigger as it matures. We've got our medium texture, kind of maybe with the flowers of the allium because they're so tight, but it could also be considered as a really fine texture. And then obviously we've got both of these with the really skinny, fine textured leaves, but thankfully they're all such drastically different heights that you're gonna get a lot of dynamic view when it comes to the height difference. And one last thing to keep in mind with a part shade planting is the colors that you're gonna use. So all of the blooms on these plants are cool. So we've got white, blue, and purple. And when those colors are in the shade, they really pop. Something to keep in mind when you're making your part shade plant combination. This is a full sun option, and this option we really wanted to talk to the gardeners who really want that summer interest and don't really care about any other season. So we've got Rose. This is Oh So Easy Peasy, which is a really amazing option for a whole summer of blooms, and it's pretty drought tolerant once it's established. You're gonna wanna water it in for its first year or so, but you might notice that it's with some other plants that are a little bit more water-wise. If you want a truly drought tolerant shrub in its place, you could try butterfly bushes, aronia, bluebeard, and those plants would do an awesome job at being in a water-wise or drought tolerant garden. So we've also got this beautiful Pardon My Lavender 2 bee balm or Monarda, and this is an amazing summertime bloomer, always covered in pollinators, and just has the spunkiest little blooms imaginable. And then down here at the ground in the garden is the sedum lemon jade, which is another awesome summertime bloomer, but it's going to extend your season a little bit because it blooms at the late end of summer and into fall. A whole season of blooms, early summer to late summer with this little trio here. And when it comes to leaf textures, we have the fine and the medium here. So we've got a lot of fine texture with the small little rose leaves and the itsy bitsy tiny little sedum flowers, and then some nice medium texture here with the Monarda leaves. And you've got a lot of breaking up here with the 3 vastly different sizes of these plants. So they'll each be their own showcase at their height in the garden. And those are just some ideas that we wanted to share with you to get you started on your own garden design. Obviously, you do not have to follow every single one of these rules to the letter. Gardening is all an experiment. There are so many beautiful combinations to be made out there, and I am so excited for you to do those in your own garden. If you want some more inspiration, visit mypwcolorchoices.com and leave any comments or questions below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time.